Yeah, good evening everyone. So today in this session we are going to discuss a few important questions. Those questions are expected to appear in the either in formative examinations or summative examinations or in the pre-public or in the main public. So these questions are mainly related to the subject of physics of 10th class from the unit number 1. So the name of the unit with these questions are going to appear is the name of the unit is heat, and in that heat if you are perfect in these 20 questions it would be more easier for you in scoring the better marks. So I request everyone to please concentrate or copy down these questions, and before appearing for the examinations it is very important to have a quick revision and to have a quick access about these questions so that it will give you a little bit confidence. Okay, so then without wasting time, let us discuss these questions. And one thing I would like to say is about that these 20 questions are going to be dictated by myself now, and it's your duty to learn from your materials or whatever the textbooks or whatever the content which you are having with you. And the remaining questions, if you are having any queries or any doubts or any some conceptual doubts, so you can feel free to contact me through WhatsApp, so that your doubts will be clarified. Okay, so in this session I would like to discuss only the questions. Okay, so here a list of 20 questions are there. The first question is about the humidity. Define humidity. Okay, so the first question is define humidity, and the second question is define melting and boiling. So we have to define what is the meaning of melting and what is the meaning of boiling. And first question is about define humidity, and the third question is define evaporation and on what factors does it depend. Okay, so here two questions are there in the third question. So first question we have to define evaporation, and after defining that evaporation we need to discuss on what factors does the evaporation depend. And fourth question is define condensation and freezing. Okay, so we have to define what is the meaning of condensation and what is the meaning of freezing. And similarly in the second question melting and boiling. Okay, so now fifth question is very important. Define latent heat of fusion. So we have to define or we have to state the meaning of latent heat of fusion. That is a fifth question, latent heat of fusion. Okay, and next sixth question, define latent heat of vaporization. Okay, fifth question is about fusion and sixth question is about vaporization. So define latent heat of vaporization. And seventh one, it's very most important question. We are expecting this to be appeared in the public examination. So that is convert 27 degrees Celsius into Kelvin and 373 Kelvin into Celsius. It's none other than conversion from Celsius to Kelvin and as well as from Kelvin to Celsius. Okay, so 27 degrees to Kelvin and 373 Kelvin to Celsius. Okay, so that is the seventh question. I request everyone to pay special interest towards the 1, 2, 3 and 7 questions. Okay, and next eighth question, explain principle of method of mixtures. Okay, so already this topic is available in our YouTube video classes. If you are having any doubts, okay, if you could contact me through the WhatsApp or any mail ID so that I can provide you all the classes. Okay, eighth question is explain principle of method of mixtures. And ninth question, suggest an activity to show rate of evaporation depends on surface area. Okay, we have to show that the evaporation factor depends upon the surface area through a lab activity. That is the ninth question. And 10th question is very simple. Why does ice float on water? Ice float on water. What is the main reason for floating of ice on the water? And 11th question, why it is easy to cook food in the pressure cooker? Okay, why it is easy to cook food in the pressure cooker? That is 11th question. And 12th question, why water is used as coolant? Okay, why water is used as coolant? That is the 12th question. And 13th question, you put the star mark like the 7th question. So how much important we are paying to 7th question, the same importance should be given to the 13th question also. So that is the thing. But what is SI unit of specific heat? Okay, what is SI unit of specific heat? SI unit of specific heat we have to define there. And 14th question, define specific heat and SI unit of temperature. Okay, define specific heat. You have to write the definition and formula, and you have to mention the SI unit of temperature. But in the 13th question, SI unit of specific heat. Okay, got the difference or not? And 15th one, at what temperature freezing of water takes place? At what temperature does the water is going to be freezed? Okay. 16th, what is latent heat of vaporization of water? Okay, what is latent heat of vaporization of water? So for water there will be a value that is related to the latent heat of vaporization. We have to mention that number, numerical value, so that it will become latent heat of vaporization value of water. And 17th also very important. I request everyone to put the star mark for 17th question also. Explain difference between evaporation and boiling. Okay, evaporation and boiling, we have to mention the differences between evaporation and boiling. Okay, next 18th question, value of latent heat of fusion of ice value. Okay, so latent heat of fusion of ice value you have to write there, like the water, how we are giving that. So if you could observe the 16th question, I said that there will be a numerical value. In the same way for 18th question also, for ice we will be having latent heat of fusion of ice value. And 19th question, explain the formula for specific heat. Okay, so there is a particular formula for specific heat, you have to mention that, and you have to mention the SI units also. And 20th question is a general question, what phenomenon takes place when wet clothes are placed in sun? Okay, what is the phenomena involved when we place any wet cloths in presence of sun? So what it will take place and what do we call that phenomena, we have to write there. And one more important question is there, 21st, but I have not written there. The 21st question is equal is nothing but 1 calorie is equal to how many joules? 1 calorie, 1 cal. Okay, 1 calorie is equal to dash joules. Okay, I have not written there, you just please note down this question. 1 calorie is equal to dash joules. Okay, so students, these are the 21 important questions from the concept of heat from the subject of physics of 10th class. Okay, next upcoming class we shall focus on the lab activities. Okay, I request everyone to please have it note down and go through all these questions, so that it will give you a little bit confidence in writing the examinations. Okay, good evening, have a nice day, take care everyone.